and welcome to the show where it's wrestling with entertainment, the only audio experience on the web today, the trusted choice for interviewing all your favorite wrestlers every Tuesday and Wednesday, and previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between every Saturday on YouTube and Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy and Player One Coffee. And of course your host, James J., alongside, finally, AEW released him from Revolution. He's back home. Kaliko Yachts.
I mean, after watching people put a syringe in somebody's mouth, I kind of, it kind of held me at syringe point.
You took your break from pro wrestling.
Yeah, after that, it was like, somewhere Magic Johnson is like, what the fuck?
And then he saw AEW.
Exactly.
It was a good week for Wrestling Wit as we interviewed Class Kincaid on Tuesday and Mayari on Wednesday. Two incredible interviews, very transparent, both individuals. Definitely check out those interviews if you haven't already. But always looking to the future. This upcoming Tuesday, we have Dewey Robson on the show from Canada. We talk about him holding every championship in his respected promotion. Coming out in his own personal car, his love of vintage cars. We talk about ring gear inspired by his own father. We talk about his capturing tag team gold with his childhood friend. So a lot to unpack in that interview. Definitely a fun interview for sure. And on Wednesday we have Nathan Hope. Also a Canadian from Canada who actually competed a lot in Mexico. We talked about his time competing in Mexico, getting to wrestle for AAA, coming back to Canada, capturing his first championship, and a hell of a lot more. Definitely go check that one out on Wednesday if you haven't. No, it didn't come out yet. Check it out on Wednesday. And yeah. Now, always looking further into the future, we have Grizzly Mac on the 14th, Braden Ghosh on the 15th, on the 21st we have Mike Biggs, on the 22nd we have Adonis Allen, on the 28th we have Chris Kendricks, and on the 29th we have Leslie Lorenzo. So, yeah, Wrestling Wit, all booked for April. Just watch and enjoy. I think we're done putting ourselves over, no, Kaliko?
We're never done. Can't stop, won't stop. And I kind of hate saying that because Eddie's in jail.
Well, it was a great day for wrestling because we are wrestling with the news. And since this is fresh off the press, literally happened last night, let's talk about it. Pat Mcafee back in WWE with a swift kick to the balls to Cody Rhodes and a promo about Randy Orton. Yeah, Pat is back. What are your thoughts, Kaliko?
I mean, it kind of came out of left field. Because a lot of people were trying to figure out who was he talking to on the phone. And one of the names that everyone kept popping up was Vince, of course.
It was never going to be Vince.
It was never going to be Vince. I've heard Batista pop up, but Batista kind of left wrestling behind.
Yeah.
And, of course, everyone thought it was his dad. But the problem with it being his dad, But the problem with it being with his dad is that, I mean, even with my dad, I don't talk to my dad like that. Usually it's more of a deference to your dad, right? The conversations he was having wasn't more father son. It didn't fit that bill, right?
I mean,
Which,
the biggest name rumored, and I mean, this was the highest expectations to, let yourself down, was obviously The Rock.
but but why? What does The Rock have to do with Randy? That is the question.
I wouldn't say that it had anything to do with Randy. It was just The Rock fucking with Cody. Because, I mean, what did The Rock have to do with John Cena and Travis Scott? The common thread here is The Rock hates Cody.
Well, the problem with that is that once they did that, well, no, because they did the whole, yeah. But then again, they did a bunch of shit that didn't make sense because Rock was praising Cody, then he wanted Cody to join, then he threw himself in the storyline, then he backed himself out the storyline because he knew he wasn't going to finish the storyline. So that's why I didn't want it to be The Rock, because I'm like, I don't want it to be him because I know he ain't going to finish it.
Right.
So that's why I thought, personally, I thought it was Triple H. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
Why does he need to call Triple H? He's literally in Gorilla. Everybody knows that he's in Gorilla.
But that ain't the point. I thought it was Triple H. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought it was either Triple H, Ric Flair, Triple H or Ric Flair. Because it was somebody who was reminding him of who he was. Now, the problem with it being Pat McAfee is like, what? I guess the angle is more to take the wind out of Cody's sail, more so than trying to boost Randy up and bring Cody down. But I still don't get the they got some explaining to do. Like, Lucy, you got explaining to do. Because Pat McAfee, as much as we like him and as much as he is a good asset to WWE, what? Why would he even align himself with Randy, considering that there's really no history there?
Well, let me add some fuel to the fire here. Believe what you want, it's rumor and innuendo at this point. Ari Emanuel, the president of TKO, apparently wanted Pat McAfee back and thought that he would be a good addition to the storyline between Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. What he knows about pro wrestling whatsoever, I have no idea. Whether or not he actually suggested Pat, I have no idea. Um, I would say that this is all rumor and speculation until proven otherwise. My opinion.
True. Although me personally, it would have made sense with an Evolution member, and it really would have made sense with Ric Flair because Ric Flair has the history with the Rhodes. You see what I'm saying? So the story tells itself.
I mean, some people, it was even banking on maybe Ted DiBiase Jr. making a comeback.
Oh, fuck.
Since
he's in prison. He's in prison, sir.
He got acquitted. He's not going to prison. All 13 counts. He is acquitted.
Damn, what the fuck Mississippi doing? Anyway.
Everybody has their price. And the words of the $1 Million Man.
Clearly. Clearly.
I like a more psychological view of it, and I would have said nobody was on the other side of that phone call. It was Randy talking to Randy on the phone. One could maybe say that that's a cop-out, but I like the idea of that rather than somebody, outside of Randy influencing him. Because Randy was never the guy to be manipulated. Randy was always a manipulator himself. And,
Right.
going, like, all roads lead back to, what is it called? Evolution. When Triple H betrayed Randy when the night after SummerSlam, when he won the title. That was a scar on Randy Orton that never really faded. And he never really trusted anybody after that time. So, for him to take anybody else's opinion into, regards, it just seems unlikely. So that's kind of where I was thinking, if the voices are talking to him a la through the phone, then it would make more sense that Randy is manipulating Randy, not anybody else.
Honestly, that makes more sense than Pat McAfee.
I mean, yeah, technically.
Not even a technically, that's a absolutely, because he's already, because keep in mind, it plays into the storyline of Cody giving him permission to be what he was.
I get that a lot of people are pissed off that, Pat McAfee is, the guy on the phone, and by all means it is an underwhelming, addition to the storyline. But me personally, I'm not that mad at it, because I thought the reveal was underwhelming, yes, but Pat is an actual good promo. And Pat McAfee as a heel is something we haven't necessarily seen before. So...
Yeah, we have.
When?
Well, in NXT. NXT.
Yeah, that's right, in NXT. But I think that it's new territory to explore, and the crowd was actually behind him. Like, what he was saying about Randy Orton, the crowd was cheering. So, I mean, it's kind of a matter of, the internet perspective and, the live perspective. Obviously, the next week, full week, people are going to be shitting on it online. I mean, that's not,
I mean, the IWC is going to shit on it online.
Yes, the IWC is going to shit on it for the next week or so. But I think, like, what we see, on, proper episodes of Raw and SmackDown is, the actual temperature check. Like I said, they were in, St. Louis. They were not going to not cheer Randy Orton. And, obviously, Pat was, hyping them up, so they were cheering it. So I don't know where they're going to be next week, but we'll see then. Like, I mean, everything that the crowd is your best temperature check. And I mean, you can't, check the temperature as best as, like, with the Sami Zayn, Carmelo Hayes situation, no?
True. I mean, the saving grace that it's Pat McAfee is that, unlike Travis Scott last year, he'll be able to take any and all bumps. That's one. Two, I feel bad for Cody, bro. This dude's just getting... It's weird. I guess it's a counterbalance, because it feels like the last 2 years, he's been getting the short end of the stick of fighting all these people who have been wanting to see the guy be there forever, right?
Yeah.
After 2 years of everybody wanting him to be the guy that they wanted to see it forever, so it's a pendulum. It feels like the pendulum has swung the other way. Now, this is this is the other part of it is that the Stephanie angle of putting the fact that he doesn't have that dog in him. And this is where I think a little bit of Cody Lander is gonna come out, because he's gonna have to.
Cody Lander?
What is it? Cody Lander? Yeah, one of them goddamn. What is it? What's that? Oh, The Boys? What's that show? The Boys?
The Boys. I don't watch The Boys, so I can tell you.
What? Cody Lander? Yeah. So it's like it's a hero in The Boys, where it's pretty much like Cody's arc, where he's so good that people can't stand him, and he's gonna have to be the fucking person that he wants to be, rather than being what people think he should be. Now, the question is it too late for that to hit when it hits Mania? Because by the time Mania comes, and newsflash, I'll be there. I'm expecting that crowd to be the same way it was with John Cena.
Oh, yeah.
Real shit. So he's walking, and this time he should not be surprised by it. And you would think Cody now is adjusted to it and not caring what people think about it, and doing what he needs to do regardless of what the people do, unless they just have him work face the whole time.
I don't... Honestly...
Like, that learned lesson has to be accounted somewhere, is what I'm saying.
No, I got what you mean. You know, it's funny, it's funny that the last time we talked was before Randy Orton was challenging Cody Rhodes for the championship, so we didn't have this conversation. It just seems like WWE has fucked Cody Rhodes, 2 years in a row. Like, there is no upside, there is no winning. It's the exact same scenario. People are going to want to see Randy Orton get 15 just as badly as they wanted to see John Cena get 17.
17. Yep.
Right. So, I mean, it's not... They're not... And Cody's the fodder for that. He's getting, burnt because of it. Like, there's so many other scenarios they could have played it, and... Like, it would have been better if Drew was, the guy that Randy went up against, because Drew was a proper heel. But, again, they're not doing Cody favors. They're making Cody the villain, despite themselves. And, once, crowds are very much, built to do what what they're supposed to do. So if it feels right to boo Cody, that might not actually go away after, WrestleMania. I mean, we still see kind of the effects of Cody getting booed every now and again as well, since, WrestleMania last year. So, they're damaging Cody's reputation, putting him in these situations.
I think both things are true. Cody has a United States face problem, because when he's overseas, they fucking love him. It's here that
the people actually popped when he won the championship from Drew.
Well, I mean, they popped because that motherfucker been overdue. He was over 4 years overdue.
Right.
I mean, what? No, he won in 2020. He won at 40, so he was like 3 years overdue, rather.
Right.
So it was one of those things where he was overdue. But even then, if you had put Drew versus Randy, more people probably wanted Drew to keep it.
I don't know about that.
And the reason I say this is because Drew finally got it, and Cody. Here's where Cody's getting it double fold. He's getting it from the fact that he got it back from Drew before Mania, so they felt that Drew got the short end of a title run.
Right.
So they are resenting him, and there's resentment from the crowd for that.
But I mean,
the
crowd popped when Cody won the title back from Drew.
But we knew it was going to be. But people pop for a title change all the time.
True.
It's the aftermath. It's the aftermath that happens. So now that it's Cody Randy, which is something that, and this is where I don't get it, because now we're getting the match that people wanted, and people are shitting on it because of how it happened. They're more worried about how it happened rather than the fact that it's happening.
True.
See, so that's where it was a problem. Now, honestly, you already had Fatu in this anyway. You already had Drew in it. You could have made this a fatal 4-way and people would have been okay with it. Because of the fact that all of them have been fucking with each other for the whole year. So it's not like, you know what I'm saying? It's not like it was a hodgepodge put together thing, if that makes sense.
No, I get you. But I mean, we could have done Cody and Fatu and give Cody a break from the limelight for, 1 year, and then, and have Drew versus Orton, and then, after Mania, Cody come up to Randy and say, like, I'm glad you won the title, but, like, I want it.
Well, the only reason I say it would have been good for a fatal 4-way is because Cody would have been able to take the pin, and that would have been justifiable in everyone's eyes.
True. But then we would have been in WrestleMania 2000 territory, and everybody knows that was a clusterfuck of a match.
I mean, true. However, I just think it would have been a better, easier pathway, because it would have automatically got Cody out of contention and then led those three fighting for the title, which is going to happen anyway when it gets to SummerSlam.
Right.
So that's why I was like, you might as well just rip that Band-Aid off now and then go from there. Because what's going to happen is, if Cody loses, even if Cody loses, he's getting a rematch.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I said, if you got the Fatal 4-Way and had Cody take the pin, boom, Cody's automatically away from the title picture. Thus having to start from scratch, then giving like Fatu that comeuppance that people want, and then him having to go through Orton and McIntyre to get the title. Because personally, I think he's going to get this championship this year.
I think that's just a matter of, how the cards lie when it comes to all of that. I mean, it's a possibility. I don't know how good of a possibility, but I think we shall see if he does or not. Now, we're talking about Randy Orton and, from this year. It was also announced that John Cena will be the host of WrestleMania, which is just kind of a desperate, I don't want to say
ticket sale.
Yeah, ticket
Please
sale.
buy these tickets. Buy.
Well, I mean, it worked for you. It worked on you. I mean, you have your
Oh
tickets.
no! I haven't bought the ticket yet. I'm going, but you know me. You know me. I'm not buying them damn tickets until I get there. I'll get there by the goddamn tickets. I ain't no hell no. hell no. Everybody's holding the line.
Hold.
Oh yeah, they are holding hard, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've never seen WrestleMania have this many tax. What was it today? They did the whole today only, no fees.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck,
Anything to move
bro?
tickets.
They trying to move these hoes, boy. If I see them on VetTix, man, you might as well come on out to Vegas, bro. You if they are, I'm just letting you know, if they are on VetTix, you might as well just go ahead and catch the bus, bro. Just go ahead and catch the bus.
You know, I was trying to get my ass down there, any which way, honestly. Like, the price is not exactly right at this point, but it's definitely getting to a point where it's like, okay, there's this coupon, tickets are good, like, I just need, but like you said, it's just a matter of holding, because I don't, unless they, like, announce that, like, it's going to be the fourth match between Stone Cold and The Rock, I don't think that those tickets are gonna spike. You know what I mean?
Well, they're not gonna spike because it's not gonna spike because of honestly a multitude of reasons, and we've already went over a lot of them. And this war in Iran just became the newest one. So it's just a lot going on right now, as far as the economy and people not trying to get here, and how motherfuckers are disincentivized to even come to this bitch.
Right.
Like, hell, World Cup tickets are having a hard time. Hell.
I mean, if you, I don't think it's something that you have to believe. It's fact. Like, ticket sales are 18% down from where they was last year. You know, and, it doesn't seem like, oh, these are, ideas to make, WrestleMania, more intriguing to people to actually come. It just seems like desperate ways to get tickets, make people buy tickets. And it seems like it's so obvious. It's so obvious that they're not, they're not doing this because, they want to give the people a good show. They're doing it because they're desperate to move tickets.
Hot take: if they had kept it in New Orleans, these tickets would have been on par.
I agree with you.
Because New Orleans is affordable Vegas. That is why. It's not because Vegas is kind of in the middle of pricing people out of coming to Vegas. The only people they want there really is people that are planning on spending a lot of money.
Right.
I mean, let's just face it. And
I might have tickets for WrestleMania, but I'm definitely sleeping in my car.
Yeah, motherfuckers are like, oh, I'm gonna get tickets for WrestleMania, but I might have to drive in from fucking Reno or some shit. Like, really. So it's tough. Like, even for me, shit.
And also keep in mind that you and me are in California, for anybody that doesn't know. Like, for me personally, Las Vegas is a 3.5-hour drive. So
yeah,
it's
and
not,
it's like add 2 hours from me, because I'm in San Diego, so we're literally 3 to 5.5 hours away.
Right. So, like, I mean, this isn't like a major, like, it's not that far away from us that, it's like, oh, we need to take a plane, or oh, we need. It's drivable, in a decent drive as well. But continue your thoughts.
I mean, it's just that a lot of people. I mean, a lot. You're asking a lot. I think it's because of the repeat, and people were already kind of fucked. Honestly, as much as people had fun in Vegas the first time they came back, the feedback was also that Vegas was, or TKO was trying to drown you out of money. Because every night they had a party, every night they had an after party. Then they had the stupid Hinge Clip shit. Then they had the NXT shit. Then they had so now to the point where the only thing that's happening in Vegas, WWE TKO wise, is they're having one party, which is Gronk's party. They're having the usual shit: Hall of Fame, SmackDown, Raw, and Mania, and in the world, and that's it. The fact that it got scaled down that much, you see what I'm saying?
Hall of Fame as well.
I mean, yeah, Hall of Fame, that's a given. So, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
But Hall of Fame used to be included with SmackDown, and now you have to pay for it.
Yeah. Because they took away having 15 after parties from fucking Thursday to Monday.
Right. And but you get to be on Cody's bus. You get a tour of Cody's bus for
that shit sold out. So that tells you the people who are putting that money up.
Yeah.
Or they putting that debt up. One or the other. Shit.
Well, we know that screenshot guy 100%.
I feel like he would get a pro bono as much as money he spent.
Not in this regime, I would say.
Not in this economy.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck pro bonos. I never thought I'd say it. I miss this. That motherfucker used to give military tickets and shit. I'm like, man, we didn't know how good we had it. People got bad at Vince, and now look at us. Like, shit.
I mean,
as much as Vince was a perv, at least he knew price points. Shit.
Yes. I mean, speaking of Vince, there is new allegations against him from Janelle Grant. Nothing. From what I've gathered, I'm not sure if you saw, the new, allegations that she put on him. But what she was saying was that Nick Khan and the other vice president of WWE actually knew that they were together. But he supposedly never asked her if things were consensual between the two of them. As everybody knows, he's saying things were not consensual. He's obviously claiming that it was. So yeah, just more drama when it comes to the whole Janelle Grant case.
Man, she better be careful, because he gonna make one call to Trump and get pardoned, nigga. That's like he has that capability, my nigga. Like, might wanna hold off until like certain people leave the office. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, whether he's, I would say even if like Trump isn't a part of it, like Vince McMahon's a master of this shit at this point. I mean, if the U.S. government could, take down Vince McMahon, what makes Janelle Grant think that she's, more powerful than them? And I'm not saying, who's in the right and who's in the wrong here. I'm just saying, from a legal counsel point of view.
He knows how to buy his time. That is it. Yeah, I get what you're saying. He can buy his time like nobody else.
Right.
Because if it were me, my black ass would have already been under the cell. So I get your point.
And Stephanie McCoy would have been on the other side of those allegations.
I mean, yeah, I catch that case. Ooh, mucho gusto.
Um, Going on the other side of the news this week, well, the other side of pro wrestling, Chris Jericho made his return to AEW. Um, Most befitting, it was in Winnipeg, Manitoba. He, pumped up the crowd and said, "I'm home," and walked out. So, Chris Jericho staying with AEW, much to the surprise of some. I feel like if Chris Jericho was going to come back, it was going to be at the Royal Rumble. I mean, we're definitely too close to WrestleMania to, have a Chris Jericho, re-debut, so to speak. So
Mm-hmm.
it just kind of seemed like that window was closing for a WWE return at the closer we got to Mania. But I'm kind of indifferent at this point. I mean, Jericho is Jericho, and, you know, he's going to go into the WWE Hall of Fame at some point. I mean, that's, guaranteed. But, I would say, I'm not disappointed or anything that he stayed with AEW. But what are your thoughts?
I mean, first things first, either he hit that DDP or he hit the Ozempic. One of the two, but either way, he done lost that gut like a motherfucker. He's like, shit,
I mean, first time
how
I
dare
looked at him, he looked like Dalton Castle, if I'm being completely honest.
you ain't lying. I was like, holy shit.
I was like, is that Dalton Castle? No, it's Chris Jericho. Oh, fuck, that's
Like,
Jericho.
Don Castle grew his hair out. Holy shit. Like, and now it's him. But I mean, I'm glad that he had the options if that even it was the case. Because I mean, everything was rumor and innuendo until it's not. And he chose to go back to the crib. Can't knock him for it.
No, absolutely. I mean, if he's making more money in AEW, and realistically, he probably is making more money in AEW, and, obviously he gets to do what he wants in AEW, why wouldn't he stay with AEW?
Yeah, and he probably gets more creative control in AEW.
Right. I mean, there's not a lot of names that he could have matches with at this point. I would say,
They were
the only big.
Gunther. Everybody was hoping he'd get retired by Gunther.
I think that's
Me, what
everybody's
me?
go-to at this point.
I mean, everybody. I mean, he's like, bitch, I still got life to live. Fuck you.
Yeah. I mean, it was from from what I'm hearing. There was absolutely talks between WWE and Chris Jericho. They wanted a retirement tour, and he doesn't feel like he's ready to retire.
That's why he lost that gut.
Right.
he hit that Ozempic just to let him know, bitch, I ain't going nowhere.
So, I mean, Chris Jericho has, been on record multiple times saying, I don't want a retirement tour. I don't want to do what John Cena is doing. I want to go into the sunset, and I don't want to go into the sunset. I want people to not realize that I'm retiring until I'm gone. So, I'm going into the sunset kicking and screaming, not in a blaze of glory. So, I mean, we kind of already know what Chris Jericho wants. So, obviously, whatever WWE was pitching, he wasn't necessarily for it.
True. I mean, and that's okay. His alignment, he has the right to kind of steer the career the way he wants to. I think the biggest thing that helped him is that he was gone so long. Because keep in mind, I mean, he took the break. That was the biggest key. Him taking that break and actually being gone for people to miss him. Because it seemed like him and Moxley were there every goddamn week.
Right. It's hard to
And
say goodbye if you won't leave.
I mean, it's hard to miss somebody when they don't take a break.
Right.
Like, if you're there every week, how can I miss you when I see you every week? Like, sometimes it's just as simple as that.
Well, I mean, speaking of the career killer, Gunther will be fighting Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. One might say that that's not necessarily the match people had on their bingo card, but when as many people get injured as they were going into WrestleMania, I mean, you kind of have to make chicken salad out of chicken shit. So, I mean, is it going to probably be a great match? Probably. I mean, Seth Rollins and Gunther. The story is not necessarily there. I mean, they could have maybe made the story a little bit better. Wasting their time with the Masked Men and Paul Heyman and added Gunther a little bit quicker. But, I digress. But what say you, TJ?
Yeah, I think it's just a benefit that because I thought, I mean, the rumor was that Gunther was going to retire Ray, and then of course Seth was going to have the whole Vision angle.
Right.
So both of their dance partners, if you will, are all in ICU. It's looking like an ICU battle unit. So therefore, you kind of got to go with what's going on. You just kind of. I get it. People feel like it's hodgepodge. And it's funny because people were like, well, how come Gunther doesn't have a match? And then Gunther gets a match and they're like, well, that ain't the match I wanted. I'm like, bitch, make up your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick a struggle. Pick a fucking struggle. Jesus Christ. Like, we complain. Seth doesn't have a match. Gunther doesn't have a match. Okay, they'll fight each other. We didn't want them to fight each other. Well, shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Just go somewhere. Go.
Yes.
Darling, go somewhere.
Touch some grass. Touch grass.
Yes, please go touch grass. Touch grass. Mm-hmm. Big time touch grass. Because that was just, I mean, and do they have a story? No. We know this, obviously. Are they gonna tear that fucking house down? They can. Like, that's all we need them to do.
I mean, you're not necessarily wrong. Like I said, making chicken salad out of chicken shit, and I think both guys could do it. So, again, not the match we necessarily wanted, but it still can be, a good match at the end of the day as well. So, it's funny that you mentioned like make up your mind, like you're not, um, you know, you want them to have a match, but then you complain about having a match, which just kind of brought me to, everything that happened with Road Dogg. Like, people were saying, like, good riddance to Road Dogg. He was a horrible, writer. This new girl is in charge. And um, basically what I said when she became in charge of head of writing actually came true. And that was the writing is actually going to get either, significantly better and it's going to be the best shit that we've seen in decades, or it's going to be the worst shit that we've ever seen ever. And the latter was actually true. That being said, a lot of new people got promoted in the writing room. So, I'm not gonna like say their names and like their history because like I don't fucking know who any of these people are. So that's like just a waste of time at this point. But basically, what I'm trying to convey here is they obviously know that they have a problem. What they're doing is not working, and it feels like they're putting new writers. Them promoting new writers is throwing shit at the wall to see if it actually sticks. From what perspective I do know about these people, it's no names that like we know. Like there's not wrestlers or, people in the industry. These are just writers that came in. So I mean not everybody knows, the proper formula for pro wrestling. And I'll reiterate my thoughts. It's either going to get the writing at this point is either going to get significantly better or it's going to get significantly worse.
Yep.
uh, from what we've seen in the last couple of weeks, I don't have high expectations, but what are your thoughts on WWE shaking up the writers' room?
I mean, somebody must have pissed. You know what's funny? My inside source literally was telling me he was out of town when Road Dogg got fired, or when Road Dogg quit, rather.
Right.
And he was like, I just interviewed that dude yesterday, and now he's gone. And we were like, oh shit! So this thing, he left on his own accord. It just sounded like he just left off principle.
Right.
And I mean, something happened, and people are going, and like you said, people are going, yeah, he didn't know what he was doing. I don't think people understand, like, his family is just as integral as a lot of other people in the business.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
It, it, it just seems to befuddle me with that. Now, all these people that are getting promoted now, it's hard to determine their impact. And the reason I say it's hard to, because a lot of this stuff is kind of already been baked, because it's been baked because of, I mean, a lot of this stuff was already kind of baked in. So we got to figure out, okay, what is their influence, and is, what is their shtick into it, and what is everyone else's shtick into it. So it it's kind of hard to differentiate the two, especially considering that all of this is happening mid WrestleMania build. So I can't say, oh, it's their fault that this shit is shitty, and I also can't say, oh, it's great because of them. Uh, I'm gonna have to give them like a post WrestleMania. Um,
Review?
give them to, give them to SummerSlam, because that would be them more so than now, because they're kind of jumping in mid-ship, and I don't know how much influence they have on these stories, considering a lot of them we kind of saw on the wall, if that makes sense.
I mean, true. But, I mean, if we see, like, a significant shift in, tone when it comes to a lot of, what's going on, then obviously we can definitely point to that. And, I mean, you're saying, let's give them till, SummerSlam to see, if they can cook or not. The way that things are going, I don't even know if these individuals have until SummerSlam. Like they could get fired tomorrow, and somebody new gets switched in. Like
Uh,
that's kind of
it could.
the whole
It
thing with
could. You're
WWE
right.
right now.
It could, but if I will say this, if they're the reason behind the Stephanie Liv shit, they fucking cooking, nigga. They cooking. They cooking hard. Cause I ain't never seen Stephanie that pissed in my life. Like, she's a generally sweet person. She out here about to whoop niggas with whoop her ass with a chancla. So I'm like, She three steps from throwing chocolates at Liv. But if that's them, hey, you got to give them some part. But once again, it's hard to tell because the one thing that is consummate with like writers and stories, you could kind of tell who influenced what by the match. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When you watch it long enough, you can tell. Oh, that's a Triple H thing. Oh, that's a Tyson Kidd thing. Oh, that's a, you know what I'm saying? So that's a Robert Roode thing. That's a,
Right.
So you can kind of tell whose flavor is in what. So it's kind of hard for me to go, oh, it's her thing when I'm going, okay, is it really her thing or is it she just threw some paprika on it and it was already there, right?
I get what you
Did
mean.
she grab the bowl and said, let me make this cake, or she just sprinkled an egg in there and was like, I contributed it? Like,
Who's putting paprika on their cake? That's what I'd like to know.
no, I mean, I went with one analogy, but then I flipped it to the cake analogy.
You switched it. Okay, yeah. We went from dinner to
There you
dessert.
go. My bad. But yeah, no, if you put paprika in cake, you need demons exercised out of you. So there.
It's funny that the rivalry you brought up was, Stephanie McClure and Liv Morgan, which I felt like the women's title matches as of now have been very lackluster. And more so when it came to Liv and Stephanie. Like a 5-minute segment on a 2.5 hour show where Liv is only, insulting your mother. I feel like that they could do a lot more and, have a lot more impact than what they're actually, doing. I feel like the whole rivalry has just fell to the wayside, honestly, when it comes to, things that are going to be on the WrestleMania card. I would say Rhea and Jade is a little bit more prevalent, and I feel like, that's only because how bad the rivalry has been when it comes to their promo game, but, I feel like they tried to put a band-aid on it with the whole, introducing Michin and BFAB as the baddies. I mean, it doesn't necessarily make it any better, but, at least they were trying to make it somewhat bearable. You know what I mean?
Honestly, I think that I will give you this. It underwhelmed in the way they tried to present an angle on Liv that was definitely not true. Because Stephanie came at it like, oh, you had everything handed to you, and we sitting there looking like this bitch fought for everything she got. like, well, who the fuck told you to say that? She literally was like the biggest fucking underdog this side of the fucking women's division. Like, the fact that she even made it this far is a fucking miracle.
I mean, you're not wrong.
So that's why it didn't click. It didn't click. What clicked for me was when motherfucking when Liv Morgan swung Stephanie's ass straight into that goddamn Titantron. Because you can't fake that shit. She swung that bitch like it was like some ghetto fights. Like, she got hit and she didn't like the way she got hit, and I'm just gonna swing that. She swung her ass like a crash test dummy on that goddamn Titantron. And ever since then, it's just been stiff. Like, it maybe the words aren't the greatest because the fact that Liv is out here. I mean, at least Liv is like, because she knows Stephanie is not good at English. So what does Liv do? Oh, I'm gonna talk shit in Spanish to your ass. Brought her ass out real quick. So I mean, Give her credit for that, right?
You know, it's
See,
weird.
tu madre esa basura puta. Hey, your mom's trash, bitch. Get your ass out here. So, I mean, as much as we get, I get your point in that regard. I give her credit because of the fact that she's working stiff on that bitch. I don't care what you say. Um, it's been a lot more intense since they started working a lot more stiff, and I like that for them. Um,
But I mean, there's only
so
so much you could do when it comes to, I attack you, you attack me. There has to be, a bit more substance, personally. And I feel like WWE is kind of handling it with kid gloves because, obviously Stephanie is very popular. And I mean, Liv is
right.
popular as well.
No, no,
So,
Liv is popular. That's the problem. They put two popular because
it,
as much as Liv is a heel, she's probably more popular because of the people under. She's not
they know the
popular
journey.
because she's popular because of the grind. Because people understood her grind,
Right.
and that is why she's popular.
So they do, and they put, obviously Stephanie versus Liv, and they don't want to, you know, cut their faces off despite themselves at this point. So I feel like they're, intentionally, keeping, it short, so they don't turn on Stephanie, honestly. And
Uh, it,
low key,
I
I
I see
feel
I see
like
that.
they might. Low key, I feel like more people would be going for Liv than Stephanie at Mania. Liv has not had that moment at Mania yet, and
Well, neither has Stephanie, and that's the issue. So now you got the problem is they should have.
but then that becomes an issue between earned and granted. So, Liv has obviously earned a moment at WrestleMania where, at this point, Stephanie would be kind of granted. We've only had a year with Stephanie. We've had like a decade with Liv. You know what I mean?
I would I would not say that Liv is. I wouldn't say that Stephanie was granted, and the reason I say that is because I mean Stephanie was literally the hottest wrestler last year.
And that could all come crashing down if they don't treat the rivalry with Liv properly because Liv is just as popular, if not more popular, than Stephanie. Like everybody that, Stephanie went up against from the beginning to now, Stephanie, it was either she was more popular than that person, or that person was a heel and was going to be booed anyway. You know what I mean?
I mean, I'm trying to think.
I mean, right
Who
off the bat, Julia.
they were neck and neck.
I mean, if they were neck and neck, why did Stephanie get the W? I mean,
Because Stephanie was more popular. So I
my
mean, but
literally my
because Stephanie
point.
got,
um,
but I mean, because Stephanie got more popular. But I'm trying to think who did she fight for the
we got
who she beat the top?
what was her name? JC was, I mean, heel, so I mean, people were going to boo
JC,
JC anyway.
right?
Um, who,
Money in the Bank.
Io, I mean, she fought Io, but there was never
Yeah,
that.
she.
There was never that back and forward, if I'm being honest. But also keep in
Well, because
mind,
it was
also,
impromptu because it was Naomi.
and also keep in mind, Io had her moments. Io had her WrestleMania moment. She was a two-time champion at that point as well. So, it's not like, people, weren't behind Io, so to speak, but they were, you know, we like this new girl and we'd like her to win the championship. You know what I mean?
True. Although I think this wouldn't even be a thing because keep in mind, Stephanie was supposed to face Naomi.
True.
Like Stephanie probably would have got halted by Naomi. Big time.
Instead, she got halted by Big Jim.
Yeah, Big Jim. Big Jim. You know what? He's at Mania. I'm going to talk to him. Dead ass. I'm like, bro, what the fuck, sir? I'm going to have a talk with him. It's fit on Monday. On the Monday after, because I think he's doing his meet and greet Monday. Like, sir, what the fuck, bro?
But we both know that he's not going to be sold out, so you'll have your opportunity.
Yeah, because Jay sold, Jim's not. Yeah.
Yeah. Just call him Jimmy Janetti.
No.
Yes.
No.
Speaking of, women's pro wrestling, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that Danni Luna, who was a part of TNA, a part of the Knockouts, asked for her release and actually was granted it. This is coming off the heels of Gail Kim, mentioning something interesting, somewhere on the lines of, the knockouts are not what they used to be. The knockouts used to be the figurehead of women's pro wrestling, and, now they're, less than in pro wrestling. They don't have as strong of a, you know, um,
Coalition.
yeah. And I mean, she's not wrong. I mean, look at where TNA is right now. Ariana Grace is their champion. With all due respect to Ariana, I mean, she's not like, a wrestler's wrestler. And most importantly, she doesn't go there. And, she's TNA champion. Um, and then you have, obviously Masha is kind of on the sidelines for right now. I don't know if she's still signed with TNA or if they released her. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and I mean the rest of the roster is filled with WWE alumni. So I do feel like the the knockouts kind of need a bit of a rebranding at this point. And I feel like Danni Luna had a strong presence to her, and TV does not do that girl justice because seeing her wrestle live, she is fucking massive. Uh, and again, a good wrestler. So I do hope that she lands, on her feet somewhere. I mean, maybe she'll get booked on an NXT. Who knows? Um, but yeah, I don't think that this kind of came out of nowhere. I do still feel like this is off the heels of, this Gail Kim comment. But I don't even know if you know what I'm talking about. Um,
Well, I know I get it because the premise because honestly, you kind of see it getting treated more like an NXT Women's Developmental more so than the Knockouts division of what it used to be. And in essence, I see why they're trying to do that because they're trying to build people. Because honestly, you can make the argument that I mean, Tessa got in, she might as well just kill that shit because there's no reason Tesla shouldn't be champion as much. Or if if it wasn't Tessa, it would be Masha.
Well, I
You see what I'm
mean,
saying?
again,
So
for anybody that doesn't know, Masha got suspended because of domestic dispute allegations. The allegations were against her, so yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, she can't
So I mean,
necessarily be in the spotlight, and Tessa, obviously, I would understand that there's some reluctance there as well because of her past, unfortunately. But I mean, why would
right
you
of
bring
her,
her?
but
But why would you bring her back if you wasn't going to pull the trigger on her? You know what I mean?
because I mean, you brought her back because the division is lacking. You didn't bring her back because honestly, she's a solid hand in the division.
Okay.
Between because that's the other thing. You got a lot of the women's division is full of contenders that they're or future stars that they're trying to make into contenders, and they're trying to do it with the behest of having a solid um middle tier of the women's division, if that makes sense. Because you could make the argument Alicia Fox, um, who else? Jody Threat, uh, uh, and Tessa all should be in women's contention, right? Like put them against Ariana Grace and they're smacking them 9 times out of 10, right? 10 out of 10.
Oh yeah. I mean, Tasha Steeles should that
Tasha
she
Steele, yep.
deserves another title run just for what she's done with Mustafa, let alone going back to that division.
See what I'm saying? So, and then, so you got a lot of the, and then not to mention, like we said, it's a bunch of, I wouldn't say WWE alumni more so than NXT alumni.
It's the same difference, Kaliko. We got
Well, no, 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 no. And this is why I say NXT alumni because everyone else that has been in WWE alumni won that title. That is why I say NXT. That's why I make the distinction.
I get that, but with that logic,
So what?
Lisa Fox should have been TNA champion at this point.
But Alicia Fox hasn't wrestled. This is her first time back in what 6, 7 years.
Has it even been that long?
It's been a minute, bro. At least 20. How can I put it? The last time I saw her actually as a wrestler was the tribute for the troops in 2018. I
Damn.
want to say, yeah, 2018. That was tribute for the troops 2018. So December 2018. It's been a minute, bro.
I mean, you're not
It's
wrong.
not like Naomi. It ain't like Naomi where she was like
Fresh off the press.
a couple of months off the press. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But, I mean, like you said, NXT, alumni. I mean, it's right now it's flooded with alumni. Cora Jane, Elena Black, Zaya Brookside, Xena Lee, who else?
Zilly.
Who am I forgetting here? Um, the girl that was in Metaphor, Sadie something.
Oh yeah. I know Jakara Jackson.
Jakara Jackson, thank you. Um,
There you
like I mean, it's kind of flooded with just failed WWE experiments, and I'm sorry to phrase it that way. And I mean, could you really trust? I mean, obviously Zaya's been there for a hot minute, but I don't feel like you could trust Cora Jade to stick things out at this point. Jakara is, I'm sorry, not that good of a pro wrestler to begin with. Um, and I mean, Zaya got it. I mean, Zaya was champion, and I think Zaya's a good hand. But, you need to have people to actually wrestle in order to have, good matches. You need a dancing partner, and you're only as good as your dancing partners.
Dancing partner, and that's the problem. They're pairing all the NXT alumni together to get them experience, all the while at the behest of the people who would actually give them the experience, which are the undercards.
Right.
And that's where it kind of should be a flip flop. And I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Ariana Grace like the JC Jane of TNA. Honestly, that spot was better with Kalani Jordan because she actually had. I get why they give it with Grace because of the whole her dad angle and Channing Stacks, and I get that part. It's just that Kalani was able to do it without the dad angle, and because once that dad angle fades, now what?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? The dad angle fade, then what? At least Kalani was a person who was a good person jumping to the dark side, which made sense.
I mean, she's doing a good job as a heel in NXT right now.
Oh yeah.
Um, bit la- Last bit of news this week. Andre the Giant versus Hulk Hogan will be the Hall of Fame match to be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame. I don't know who's going to be the one to actually receive it at this point
And
because both guys are dead. Um, but yeah, I mean, obviously the match needs to be in the Hall of Fame. It's what put WWE on the map. Um, but yeah, don't know who's gonna be accepting it.
yeah, who's gonna put that match in on their back? Who do they do for stuff? I mean, if only they had did it last year. Nevertheless,
Yeah,
ne-
no
nevertheless,
shit.
never. Like if all they had did it a year prior, because it would have made sense for that match to be first, then Austin Brett. But
But the funny
hey,
part is,
boom.
if you did Hogan, Andre last year, you couldn't do Bret and Austin this year. The way that Bret Hart's been acting as of late.
But Austin would have been able to accept it on their behalf at least,
True, just have one of them there.
pretty much. Um, so I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm assuming who the hell? What Jimmy Hart? Like I don't know. Like well, Jimmy Hart wasn't even the thing then.
I mean, honestly, the only
Did
person I could think of is the family of both people. So, I mean, Hulk Hogan's son or daughter, and Andre has a daughter, so maybe she can
yeah, Andre
accept
has
it.
a daughter.
I, you know, I I don't know if he had a
Earl
family.
Ebner?
Huh?
I mean, the rap. I mean, it's like
I feel like Bobby Heenan's family should be included in that because like Bobby Heenan was a big component of that rivalry and why it
he's a big
impacted.
antagonizer. Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
so like I mean, I don't know if his family is, if he has a family, but I think that they should at least be included in it.
They should have a say. Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to think who. I mean, Stephanie. But Stephanie be giving 38 speeches by then. So
Yeah,
who else
Stephanie
would it
is.
be? Triple H, X Pac. Who the fuck is going
What
to?
the fuck would Dax Pac do it?
Hey, they need a body at this point. Like beggars can't be choosers.
A warm body, not a cold one.
It's X Pac got heat.
Um,
maybe not the right heat, but he got heat.
Hey, Xbox is over at this point. People people
Uh,
appreciate the Xbox heat.
I mean, but I'm trying to think who the fuck would put in that match. Um, I mean,
Could we get a
shit.
Ouija board out?
Get the Dragon Balls and wish them back. I don't know.
I think it would take too long to find all of them. I mean, the likelihood of this actually happening is slim to none, but I mean, you could have the guy that actually booked the fucking match, Vince McMahon.
That ain't happening.
Yeah.
Who? Well, Pat Patterson's gone. Fuck.
Bruce
Uh,
Pritchard wasn't there
Bris-
when it happened, so he can't do it.
oh, fuck. Briscoe wasn't there. Yeah. Shit. I guess they're just gonna have an empty podium. I don't know. Shit. I don't know.
I mean, it seems like it, honestly.
I'll let you know at the Hall of Fame. Well, I'm not going to the Hall of Fame, but I'll let you. I'll let somebody will be there, and I'll have them let me know, and I'll let you know.
Everybody will know when it's happening.
No, I'm talking
Um,
about my insider. I'm gonna try to get the insider to tell me.
that would work as well. um, all right. I mean, there's a lot of, it's been a hot minute because you were, abducted by AEW. Was there any bits of news that you really wanted to talk about over the last couple of weeks?
Hold on, let me see. Hold on, I got. Hold on, let me look at my copious notes because I was, my insider kind of was in and out going to Vegas. But let me see. I'm always, always looking around. Actually, he's in Vegas right now doing some recording, and he's already looking at the stadium, and it's already getting ready to get built. But them changing the Usos music is bullshit.
I agree with that.
Uh, they kind of. Oh, my guy was going to Oakland because he was doing a. My insider's been going went to. Oh shit! He went out because they're doing a piece on Royce Keys.
Okay. I mean, that
I
makes
guess.
sense.
I guess. I guess Royce Keys ain't got. I bought my mama a house out the hood money yet. So we wait on that. Trying to think
Obviously,
of
that
what
will
else.
come out after WrestleMania. Royce isn't in WrestleMania plans.
Yeah. Trying to think of what else. AEW was good. It was an okay show. Clearly.
I mean, you were there
Um,
for 6 hours.
I was there for shit, felt like 30. And then what else? Oh yeah, this punk Roman build is pretty interesting. Jay is crashing out, like I said. He plays too much.
Yeah.
That's what I wrote in the notes. Jay plays too much, except about his family. The only time we hear he play it is when it's about his folks. Ah, hey,
You know,
good for him.
it's interesting how he reverted right back to what he was before he became Yeet Master Sexy. He became the right hand man again. Like, this is, eerily reminiscent of the Thunderdome days when he was, being manipulated by Roman. So it's just it's just weird how they just went right back to, old shit. And it's kind of sort of working, but it's also not working because all of that character development just kind of went down the drain, if I'm being honest. except for Jimmy. Jimmy has not changed since 2021. So you know,
Well, no, because Jimmy is the voice of reason, and then it's funny that you say that because Jay and Jay and Solo both got the "You sound like Roman," which
yeah.
I thought was interesting.
I mean, what's up with Solo? Like all of that character development he had before SummerSlam last year just went down the drain, and he became Timu Roman Reigns with the NFTs.
Hey man,
Like I remember when
I
this guy
get
used
it.
to actually be entertaining, and he's boring again. Like
True.
let let Solo play. Like let him play a little bit.
let, let Solo joke.
Yeah. Like give him the
Make so
trust me ooze. let him be let him do yeet for a little while. It did Jay
make
wonders.
make Solo great again. Is that what we're?
I mean I wouldn't say that Solo was great to begin with, but I mean at least give him a chance to maybe have the potential to be great.
Mm, I mean, good point. But both of them got that "You sound like Roman"
Right.
thing, which kind of threw me off a little bit. What else? Um, Punk is being the antagonistic asshole that he's always been. So there's no good or bad guy in this thing. It's just matter of who you believe. Neither has apologized. Uh, the tag team division needs to be on life support.
I mean
Um,
technically is on life support.
I mean, it needs more. It just yeah. Help me, God. Um, Carmelo Hayes losing the title is bullshit, but I get why they're doing it because Trick Williams is about to get it. Um,
Yes, but I mean if I'm being honest, I don't want Trick Williams to win the United States champion. I feel like if you wait 6 months, wait until SummerSlam, give him the WWE Championship at SummerSlam. Like, legitimately. Like, he can be WWE Champion now. We don't need a slow burn. Pull the fucking trigger. You know what I mean?
True. But I get why they're doing it because he's red hot and they're gonna put a rocket to his ass. Um, it's a matter of when at this point. Um, what else? I'm looking at Mitchin and BFAB joining Jade screams, "I can't whoop they ass, so I'm just gonna be on their side so they won't whoop my ass." Um,
And they're still not over.
and they're still not over. Lord help me. Uh, this is the longest build to a card I've ever seen in WrestleMania history because it makes no sense that we didn't get a card until like 3 weeks before. Um,
I feel like a lot of that has to do with all the injuries and figuring out who is actually available to us. You know what I mean?
while that is true, I still call bullshit. What else? Um, see, I've been keeping up.
Yeah.
Uh, Bailey and Lyra about to have a beef soon. It's coming. Uh, Becky Lynch has been trying to get. Becky Lynch needs to just go back to being the motherfucker that'll pop a bitch in the mouth instead of complaining. What else? Kendall Gray has been killing it on NXT.
Female Kurt Angle in the making.
What else have I see? I've been looking. Oh, who the fuck is the Righteous with TNA? Because this is off-putting, but the Righteous is just pretty boring. Because I was watching it.
Okay, that's literally as random as it gets, but I got you.
What you said my notes. I just wrote them all as I was going through it. Because now I finally got TNA on YouTube because they're on AMC now, so that's why. What else I'm looking at here? We already talked about how Mania is seeming desperate. TKO seems desperate for Mania because they are stuck in Saudi money, even though the Saudi money is about to get fucked up because of Iran. But we'll go back on that some other time.
That is wrestling with politics, not wrestling with entertainment. Completely different show.
I already said that I'll be at Mania this year.
Really, you have that written down in your notes?
Bro, yeah, my mind is not a filing cabinet. Why the fuck John Cena is sitting up here hosting Mania, even though Gunther's gonna fuck with him the whole night?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that got not that bad. Not that bad.
All right.
Not that bad. We already went over most of the stuff in my notes, the Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton shit, and
another thing was ISO Speed will be involved in WrestleMania to some degree.
Oh, again. Oh yeah, did you see what happened with his stream?
Yeah. LA Knight beat the crap out of him.
Well, I ain't even beat the crap. He just that was just belt to ass. LA Knight gave belt to ass to I Show Speed, and I loved it because I Show Speed just talks too much shit to me, even though he might be a genuine person. But he just seems so antagonistic. But that's just me.
Yeah. I don't think that's the match that we wanted LA Knight to have at WrestleMania, but here we are, unfortunately.
I mean, it ain't like he had anybody else with him.
I mean, you're not exactly wrong about that.
Oh, if LA Knight or Jacob Fatu don't win, if neither one of those people win Money in the Bank, we need to riot. That was another thing. I literally wrote that because they did him they fucked him over. And then of course Drew got fucked over. Right. And then what else? So, yeah, that's about it. See, quick with it.
All right. Well, that will conclude our coverage of the news. And now a quick word from our sponsors.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.